Welcome back to Going Solo. I'm Rick, and this week we will be continuing with Final Girl, specifically with the second scenario of the Poltergeist scenarios, in which the Poltergeist comes to Camp Happy Trails. So just a quick reminder of the Poltergeist rules. She has no health. She cannot be attacked, she cannot be damaged, though some of her terror cards can allow us to use attack cards against them to reduce damage we take. But the only way to win is to find Carolyn, who is hidden somewhere in the item decks, and escape with her. So, let's go ahead and get started.
During the summer after the harrowing events of Creech Manor, the Johnsons decided to send their daughter to Camp Happy Trails. They'd heard such great things about the staff and the camp counselors that they decided to send Carolyn now that she was old enough to attend. Carolyn arrived and was in awe of the place. Kids were running and playing all around the camp, and there was a beautiful lake in the middle of it all. Her counselor, Becky, showed her to the cabin where she'd be sleeping at night with the other girls her age. There was a small tag on her bed that read "Welcome, Carolyn," that made her smile. She put Mr. Floppy, her cute, cuddly stuffed bunny, on the bed by the pillow, and ran outside to make friends. After an exhausting first day and meal at the mess hall, the campers all headed back to their cabins. Other than the usual shenanigans from the Peterson twins, it was a relatively uneventful and peaceful night. That could not be said of the night to follow. On day 2, Carolyn got picked on and bullied by a few of the older campers, some boys known around the camp as the Goon Squad. A few of her friends and a couple of counselors were able to intervene just before they were able to throw Carolyn into the lake. Carolyn ran back to her cabin crying. Little did she know the Goon Squad would be the least of her worries that night. The moon shone bright, and it was a quiet night but for the puttering snore of Mabel Harkins. Her snoring was just loud enough to mask the small creak that the door made as it slowly opened. Strangely, no one was there, but there was a force in the room. The poltergeist had arrived, and it had come for Carolyn. Carolyn's screams woke up the other girls, but they found themselves paralyzed and unable to move. Those campers unfortunate enough to be facing towards the middle of the cabin watched in horror as Carolyn floated slowly towards the open door, screaming and flailing about. Mr. Floppy fell from her hand and landed limply on the wooden floor. "No!" Carolyn screamed as her body floated out the door and into the darkness of the camp. The door slammed shut with a loud bang, and suddenly the other campers could move again. Terrified but curious, the girls ran to the door and opened it. Carolyn was nowhere in sight. A tomato smashed poor Mabel as the Peterson twins ran off snickering. The girls slammed the door, wondering how the twins didn't see Carolyn, or maybe they ignored her. Their wonder shifted to absolute terror, as in the back of the cabin, a spectral behemoth was standing. It lifted one of the campers high into the air and smashed her against the ceiling, instantly breaking her back and causing red blood and vomit to spill out onto the floor beneath her. Girlish screams erupted as the girls panicked and shoved each other trying to escape the cabin. They failed to notice that the behemoth was gone as quickly as it had appeared, and into the night they ran. Most would never leave camp alive.
Alright, so I've got my 6 no-cost cards here, so we can go ahead and get started. The horror level does start at 3, so we do have 2 dice. And I would like to start by focusing with the horror level so low, and I've got 2 focus cards here, so I have a chance of getting that 3rd dice really early on, which could be a game changer for me, specifically since I don't have a lot of luck with this game. So, let's see what we can do. Focus card number 1. Ooh, we got... We'll resolve that in just a moment. I forgot the first event card. It is the boyfriend. The victim closest to you is now your boyfriend. If the boyfriend dies in your space, start the next action phase with 12 time. So we'll go ahead and put that here and get our special meeple And closest to me would be this one. So that may change our tactics a little bit. But anyway, back to our focus card. So we played the focus card, we rolled, and we got 2 partials. So I am going to use my short rest and weak attack as discards to turn one of these into a success. And then I'm going to attempt another focus. Another partial. If I don't move, I could discard these walk cards to turn that into a success as well and get 3 dice next round. Unless the terror card raises my horror level. Don't really want to do that, because I want to be able to walk this round. So I will go ahead and just take the, well, you know what? You know what? Let's do it. I want to get the 3rd dice. I want to get the 3rd dice. That's important to me right now. So I am going to lower the horror level. And it also leaves me with 4 time so that I can buy both a sprint and a search. Because I would like to get somewhere to be able to search. I'm thinking the cabins is going to be my first stop. So all of these go back in our tableau. And we get to the first turn of the Poltergeist. So she can move her speed, which is 2, and attack with an attack power of 1. And she is going to go towards the closest target, which would either be these guys or these guys. This one's the same distance, but these 2 have greater numbers, so that's why they would be the options. So, since it's a tie, we're going to go for whatever is worst for the final girl, which I would think would be this one, because that brings her closer to the boyfriend, and if I'm not in his space when he dies, then I don't get the 12 time bonus. So yeah, I think she's going to go this way. And of course she is going to kill one of these. And Bloodlust goes up, which means the horror level goes up. So, I don't get the 3rd dice yet, still, even after that. Now we have our first terror card. The shadows are closing in. So, horror goes up by 2. She targets a victim, there's one right there, moves and attacks. So she kills. This goes up, and her dark power is already revealed, which is the invisible barrier. You may not enter an exit space with Carolyn unless you have full health. So that is not great for me. But there we are. Okay. So, since she killed all of the victims, there's nobody to panic, and there is currently no upkeep. So it's my turn again. Let's go ahead for a sprint. Back down to 2 dice. And it's a double success. So I get to move 3 spaces, which is excellent. I will go up this way. 1 and 2. 2 is all I want to do right now, because I need to search. And let's see what we get here. Hopefully we don't fail, because that would not be good. I should have only lost 1 time. Yeah, I should have only lost 1 time for that. Okay. 2 partials, and since I have nothing to get rid of, that means I fail. So the horror level goes up again, and I lose 2 time. . if I allow the horror level to go up one more, I can still take the top item. I don't think it's worth it. Not right now. Alright. There we go, 2 times. Alright, so. Right, because 1 here, 2 here, yes. Okay. So that is the end of that action phase. Let's go ahead and buy my cards. I've got 3 points. Let's go ahead and buy another search. Buy a close call. And take my 0 cost. Alright. So it's the Poltergeist's turn again. She can move 2 spaces and attack. The worst scenario for me is going to be her killing the boyfriend. So that's what she's going to do. And then our next terror card. Oh, wow. The shadows are closing in, which puts me down to 1 dice. She's going to target the closest victim, move, and attack. Whew. She's picking them off quick. So that means terror goes up, which means horror increases twice, which means bloodlust goes up 2 more. Her bloodlust goes up quick. Okay. So since she killed everybody once again, there's nobody to panic and no upkeep. So we're back to me. Let's go ahead and search again. I did get 1 success and a partial. I'm going to use my weak attack and short rest to turn the partial into a success so that I can look at the top 2 cards of the cabins. So we have the lucky dice here that we knew about. And then we have pepper spray. Alright, so I get to pick one of these. And the other one I put either face up or underneath face down. So I can discard to reroll any or all of my dice with the lucky dice. Or if the killer's in my space, I may discard this to immediately end the killer phase, ignore their remaining movement, attacks, and any further effects. I think if I'm going to win this, the pepper spray is going to be the way to go. And the lucky dice I am going to put on the bottom so that I have a higher chance of finding Carolyn if she's in that deck. But I don't know that she is. Oh, wait, no. That is not correct. Let's back up. Pepper spray is face down here, and I got the lucky dice because I would not have been able to convert 1 because I only had 1. So, that means these go back in my hand. And let's go for a focus to see if I can get a second dice back. Come on. That's a partial, so I am going to use these to turn it into a success to get a second dice back because I need it. Let's go ahead and focus again, see if I can gain 1 more. I did not. I don't want to use my close call on this because I need to buy cards on my next round, so... Well, either way I'm losing 2, so I might as well. And it's perfect, double success. So that means I gain a time back, 2 time back. And I reduce horror by 1. I think I'm going to stick around here for another round. And I'm going to buy a search and a sprint. Her movement is 3, so she can't quite get to me here. But let's go ahead and get started on her turn. Let's play these out first. Alright. So, it is the Poltergeist's turn. She gets to move up to 3 spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she will move here because that's the closest victims. But I plan to try to get them out of here on this next round unless she kills them. So her terror card. Unstoppable Evil. Roll a die. Take damage equal to your roll. You may defend. Or kill that many victims. If there are not enough victims, you need to choose. You must choose to take the damage. Okay. Hoping for a 1 here. And that's what I got, a 1. So I will take the damage. I can't enter an exit space with Carolyn until I heal that, but for now, it's okay. At least it did not affect my horror or kill any more victims. So, let's see here. Okay. Let's go ahead and attempt to search again. And of course it's a failure, which increases horror and reduces time by 2. And let's go ahead and attempt to walk. Double success on a walk, so I get to move 2 spaces. I still lose 1 time, but I do get to move 2 spaces. I'm going to take these victims with me, 1 and 2, and save both of them. One of them is going to recover a health, and the other one is going to give me time back. Okay. My next goal is to get up to the shed over there. So let's go ahead and try to sprint. A double success would be ideal, but a single success will get me close enough that I can use a walk to get there. A single success, okay. So lose a time and move 2 spaces. 1, 2, take this guy with me. And then I'm going to use my walk. A single success. I'll leave that guy there because I can't take more than 2 with me at a time. And I'll be taking these 2 out with me. Alright. So that puts me down to 3 points. I will take a search close call, and my 0 cost. Okay. Now it is her turn again. So her movement speed is 3. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy's actually going to be the closest to her. So she's going to move 1, 2, and 3. You can't save us. No one can. If there are no victims... Okay. All victims in your space must panic. So these two guys are going to panic. If they get a 3 or a 6... Yep, a 3 through 6, then they move. A 4 and a 5. So yes, they both come out here. Hopefully I'll be able to just come run past and take them to get saved. On my turn. But first, we target a final girl or a victim and kill. There's nobody in her space. Then we target the closest victim and move. So she is going to move here, but she does not get to kill quite yet. So hopefully I can do something to stop it. Alright, she didn't kill this round, so there's no panic, and there's no upkeep. So we're going to do a search. A double success, excellent. So I'm at the utility shed. So let's take the, let's see, we've got the first aid kit, or we can take... the lucky rabbit's foot. Based on the invisible barrier, I'm considering the first aid kit to be more valuable. The lucky rabbit's foot's a one-time use. And this allows me to recover additional health. So I am going to take the first aid kit. And I will put the lucky rabbit's foot on the bottom of the deck. So that hopefully I can find Carolyn if she's in there. I don't have any movement, so at least one of these victims over here is going to die. And because of that, I see that the next bloodlust is going to be a horror, so I'm going to make a focus roll. Oh, this would have been up here, and then that would have brought me down by 1. Alright, so I did get a success. Can't do anything with an attack right now, and I don't need the short rest at this moment. I'm going to save my close call. But that gains me 2 time while reducing the horror level. And I might as well do another focus. Try to keep me from going back down to 1 dice. And I failed. So I lost. Oh, this would have gone up. Yeah. So that puts me back down where I was. Ooh. But since I'm losing 2 time anyway, might as well attempt to reroll. And I did get 1 success. So I lost the 2 time to reroll, which put me back up at 1 success. So I lose 1 more time to increase horror. Or to decrease horror, sorry. Okay. Next. That's all my cards, so I'm back to my planning phase. I will take a search. I will take a sprint. And I will take the 0 cost walks here. Alright, it is her turn, so she kills a victim. Then we have a tarot card. Run for your life. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next tarot card. Otherwise, all victims that are not in your space must panic. Okay. So this victim at makeout point is going to panic first. And then these two that are with her are going to panic as well. Let's see, one of them got a 2. The other one got a 5. Okay. Perfect. They got out of her space, which is great. The final girl, or the victim with the final girl, the poltergeist attacks if they're in her space, but they're not, and then she targets a victim and moves. So, let's see, probably the worst scenario for my final girl is going to be if one of them dies, because then she can't complete her little front of her card. But if I go in there, if she goes in there, I know I'm going to move the next round. So probably this one is going to be the worst scenario, since she doesn't get to attack again this round. Oh, and she did kill one, so we do increase our bloodlust. Okay. Alright, so since she did kill one, the one in her space is going to panic, hopefully to the exit space. That's a 5. Yes, to the exit space. Excellent. So it won't start its turn with her. And I'm just hoping that I can get out and around to rescue them and this guy that's with me. But then this one will most likely die, but nothing I can really do about that. Well, let me see. Maybe I can. Let's start with our search, though. Okay. So that would increase horror and lose 2 time for me. I've got the lucky die where I can discard to re-roll. But do I want to do that? Searching is kind of important because I need Carolyn. If I get Carolyn, then maybe I can run past. So yes, let's go ahead and do this. If this was not the poltergeist, I may not do that, but it is. So I'm going to discard this to re-roll these dice. Didn't make any difference though, because I still lose. I could discard my walks, but I don't know for sure that she's in there. And with us getting closer to the end of the terror deck... Oh geez, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Discarding both of my walks to turn one of these into a success, which means I get the top card of the utility shed. It is not Carolyn, but it is a map. Discard during an action phase, and then for each deck of the item cards, do one of the following. If the top card is face down, reveal it. If the top card is face up, you may remove it from the game and reveal the next card. Okay. And I do that for each each card of the item decks. Well, I mean, it's still my action phase, so let's go ahead and do it. So this one's face down, so I'll reveal the face up card, which is pepper spray. I knew that already. I'm going to discard this energy drink and reveal the flashlight. And then I'm going to reveal Carolyn in the utility shed. Okay, perfect. So I'm not going to sprint. So I did, what did I do here? I searched. And I only got the top card. So we went down one. Okay, I can do this. I have a chance. I do have a chance. Okay. It got me a little excited that Carolyn's right here where I am. So, I'm going to buy a search card, obviously. I'm going to buy a sprint card. I'm going to buy a close call. And then I'm going to take my 0 cost. So I've got 2 sprints here. I'm at full health, so hopefully I can make it down here before the poltergeist gets to me. Okay. And I've got cards that I can discard if I need to. So these cards have all been discarded. Okay. Well, technically 2 of them have been discarded. The energy drink has been removed from the game. Just in case there's anything that kind of comes up with that. But it's the poltergeist's turn. These 2 victims are the closest to her. Either one's pretty bad for me. But I'll put her here so that she is guarding the exit. And her movement goes up to 4 and her attack goes up to 3. We do a terror card for her. I fell asleep. What did I miss? Place 1 new victim at the cabins. Okay, if needed, I might be able to go there and get them. But then horror goes up by 2. Which means I'm back to 1 dice. Alright. Now. It's my turn again. No, there's panic phase, but there's nobody to panic, and there's no upkeep to do. So, it is my turn. And I'm going to... Obviously, well, let's focus first. See if I can improve my chances. That's a 1, but I've got a close call, and I can roll that dice again for free. Which it's not a success, but it allows me to get a success. So this goes back up. This goes down 1. Now I search with 2 dice. And I did get 2 successes, so I get to take the top 2 cards and choose one. Let's see, Lucky Rabbit's Foot or Carolyn. I'm going to take Carolyn. So, remove all dark powers. There can be no dark powers anymore. Carolyn cannot be killed or discarded for any reason. You must place her in your... You cannot place her in your backpack, obviously. Alright, so Carolyn is now with me. I'll put her with me here. So, I now have Carolyn. I'm at full health. So let's sprint. Come on. 1 success. So I get to move 2 spaces. I'm 1 space away from winning this game. Okay. My other sprint card. 2 dice. One success. Time goes down by 1. And I get to move up to 2 spaces. And I move the 2 spaces. And I have successfully brought Carolyn to the exit at Camp Happy Trails. So a happy ending here, where Carolyn was rescued from the grips of the Poltergeist, but it's not over yet. We'll pick this up next week at the Sacred Groves. Thanks for watching.